Captain Spaulding has arrived.
Captain Spaulding has arrived.
Captain Spaulding has arrived.
Oh, I'm so glad. Hooray for Captain Spaulding, the African explorer. We had his name on day. Name, hooray, hooray, hooray.
So one time I shot an elephant in my pajamas. How I got in my pajamas, I'll never know.
Hi, I'm Bobby, and welcome to Dusty Old Movies.
And I'm Matt.
Excellent. Today we're going to be doing the first episode on our Marx Brothers retrospective series, starting with Animal Crackers. Now, the way I got into the Marx Brothers was when I was about 11 years old. I was looking at the Growler Encyclopedia on my computer. This is before I even had the internet. And I was looking at an article about the Three Stooges. And it said, you know, if you like these, check out Abbott and Costello, Laurel and Hardy, who both of them I've already seen, and the Marx Brothers. So I clicked on the Marx Brothers and I kind of read a little about them. I asked my mom about them, and so I was curious, so she got me a box set of 3 of them for my birthday, and that's how I first heard about them. And Matt, why don't you tell us how you got into them?
Well, because of you is how I basically got into them. First one I seen was Duck Soup, and I thought it was quite hilarious. So I started watching the other ones, and those were pretty funny too.
Yes, excellent. Now, I know what you guys are wondering. How come we're not reviewing the Coconuts? Well, the reason we decided to start with their second movie instead of their first is because Animal Crackers and the Coconuts are very similar films. They're both based on their stage plays, and I think a lot of our comments would be redundant. Plus, neither one of us has it on DVD, and some stinker took it off of YouTube.
Unfortunately.
Yes, indeed. So we're starting with Animal Crackers.
Yes, Animal Crackers.
Sons of Minnie and Frenchie Marx. The Marx Brothers were a comedy team made up of real brothers. There was Groucho. He wore a fake mustache, bushy eyebrows, smoked a cigar, and always had something funny to say. Then there was Chico, the dim-witted con artist who always spoke with a phony Italian accent. Then Harpo. He didn't talk but did tons of physical comedy. Then there was Gummo, the original straight man in the group, who was replaced with Zeppo when Gummo went into World War I. Their mother first had them as a regular singing group in vaudeville. But one night, the brothers, who were just as funny offstage as they were on, started screwing around on stage and ended up getting laughs, so they became comedians. They eventually got to Broadway, with their first show, I'll Say She Is, then The Coconuts, then Animal Crackers. The last 2 were also filmed as movies in New York City, which started off their film career. Filmed in 1930, Animal Crackers is about Captain Spaulding, the African explorer, played by Groucho, who has returned from Africa to a party given in his honor, given by Mrs. Rittenhouse. In his honor, Chandler has brought a famous painting done by Bogart to be unveiled. Chico and Harpo have also been hired as musicians. Arabella Rittenhouse's boyfriend, John Parker, is a struggling young artist. To show Chandler how talented he is, Arabella and John take the real Bogart painting and replace it with John's excellent imitation of the Bogart. Trouble is also afoot when Mrs. Whitehead intends to embarrass Mrs. Rittenhouse by replacing the real Bogart with her badly done imitation of the Bogart. Then the Marx Brothers and the rest of the cast try to figure out who has Bogarted the Bogart. While this plot may seem uninteresting, it's really only a glue to stick together the Marx Brothers comedy bits. The dummy leads.
I'm not the dummy.
You may be.
This movie was actually based off a play. So that's why the acting in the movie kind of makes it look like, you know, it's a play. Like you're sitting there and watching a play.
I think you can tell that in the way it's shot, too. It feels like it's just a blacked off camera. How do you feel this impacts it?
Well, there's not really much room for, like, you know, panned out shots or nothing. All the acting just takes place, you know, in one spot. So they move around a lot.
Yeah. Do you think it would be, like, more exciting if they filmed it like a regular movie?
Yeah, maybe. Maybe if there were more angles. but it's all just one straight shot. So it's a lot of moving around in one spot. Hence why it looks like a play.
Yeah, I'm two minds about this. On one hand, I think it makes a dull movie, and I wish they would have done something. But on the other hand, me and Matt will never have the chance to see what the Marx Brothers were like on Broadway. So this really gives you an idea of what they were actually like on the stage. So in a way, I'm kind of glad that we have that as an artifact.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the way it was actually filmed?
Like, what do you mean?
Like, did you notice that there were like a lot of jump cuts and things?
Yes, exactly. The editing skills weren't exactly top notch in this movie. There would be times when the film would be going and then just cut out into like, you could notice a gap. Let's just say that, like, they're standing one spot 1 minute, and the next minute they're standing across the room.
Yeah, I had several issues about this movie, but the one thing I loved, of course, is the Marx Brothers. They're always hilarious. Although this is their second film, it really serves as the perfect introduction to the Marx Brothers. They show off many of their trademark bits, some which will continue in their later films, and others that either disappear or are minimized as they transition from stage stars to screen stars.
So, one of my favorite characters from the movies is Groucho Marx. He always plays a more sarcastic character throughout the movie. There's never one minute he's not being sarcastic about something.
Yeah, I know. I always like his lines. What was the one that I really liked in this one? It was, we went to Africa and took some pictures of native girls, but they weren't developed. Oh, we're going to be back at it again in a couple of weeks. You never know what he's going to say. He's nuts.
Yeah, he reminds me of myself, kind of, because I'm always, sarcastic, about everything.
In this movie, Groucho often does these elongated monologues, which I really don't see him do in a lot of later films, especially when he's talking to two characters and goes away for a brief monologue. Yeah, look at you. I see figures. Strange figures. Weird figures. The gods look down and laugh.
Your mama looks down.
It's kind of cool, like going back to how it's like the stage play, because I could just imagine him doing those monologues all the time on the stage. Exactly. The one I was really struck by was Harpo in this one. There was a saying in the old days that
yes, Harpo was rather psycho.
Yeah, he was. There was a saying in those days that the men would go to see Groucho, the women for Chico, and the kids would go see Harpo, because Harpo was kind of like a big kid in a lot of the films. In this one, there was kind of dark.
Yes.
Like, it wasn't.
Harpo's not his usual self in this movie.
It really is. I mean, he does the thing about chasing girls all the time in movies, but this one he seems to be doing it all the time.
He's always up to no good.
Yeah,
he plays practical tricks on people.
Yeah. And at the end, he makes everyone pass out with chloroform.
And he doesn't talk at all either, but he screams.
What does he scream?
He screamed quite a few times. Animal crackers. Yeah, he makes those like little sissy screams,
Oh yeah, yes. And then,
so anyway,
then of course Chico. Now Chico is about the same in the rest of the movies. He has a very extended piano solo. Do you notice that?
Oh yes, which reminds me of Harpo playing his harp.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
this is one of the tropes that Harpo does in almost all the movies. Is play the harp. He's actually beautiful at this. You know, he taught himself.
Yeah, I think you mentioned that to me before.
Oh yeah, he's gorgeous when he does that, and that's one of the tropes that carries on. When talking about Harpo, it seems darker in this one. He makes this one funny face all the time, and then he goes piano solo was longer, and then Zeppo was his usual straight man self. However, he did have a couple jokes in this one. Did you notice? There's one scene when it's completely dark. Not it's completely, but you can't really make out the characters. Do you remember that one scene?
Yeah.
And Groucho and Mrs. Rittenhouse talking. Rumor has it That's actually Zeppo. Now, I know that Zeppo once replaced Groucho in the play when Groucho had appendicitis, and they all said that Zeppo was a better Groucho than Groucho was. So I'm kind of wondering if that was actually Zeppo in there. Because it's so dark you can't see. Now, I've heard other...
Yeah, I mean, no, it's not that dark. You can see his face, kind of. It's definitely not Groucho Marx, so it has to be Zeppo.
Or some other extra or something.
Could be.
Greenbaum! Here's the Bogart. Now, the Marx Brothers are always awesome. So a lot of times when evaluating what is the better Marx Brothers movie for comparing them is who is the supporting cast. And here we have Margaret Dumont. My favorite Marx Brothers supporting player is Margaret Dumont. Here she is as Mrs. Rittenhouse. She appears in most of their films, and she's always a stuffy, matronly woman, and she just has incredible chemistry with Groucho. Yeah, Margaret Dumont, she's a delight in every Marx Brothers movie. As a matter of fact, Groucho used to refer to her as the fifth Marx brother. How did you think about Hives?
Hives, yes. Hives. He played a butler in this movie. I kind of one of the noticeable things about him is he looks like Tim Curry from Home Alone 2.
Yeah, you noticed that too?
Yeah. And then he acts like him as well.
I also thought Chandler was funny. He played a nice foil to Groucho. What do you think about Chandler?
Yeah, C.H. Chandler.
Pardon me, my name is Spaulding, Captain Spaulding.
I'm C.H. Chandler.
Pardon me, my name is Spaulding, Captain Spaulding.
I'm C.H. Chandler.
Pardon me, my name is Spaulding, Captain Spaulding.
I'm C.H. Chandler.
I can do this all day, but my suspenders don't connect.
What do you think about that young couple?
I think if you stir cranberries like applesauce, they taste much more like prunes than rhubarb does. But now you were saying about the young couple. I'm very glad you asked me.
Well, now I retract the question.
Annabella and John were the young couple that drive the plot, but they were rather bland characters, and I wasn't really engaged with them. I also found Mrs. Whitehead to be a really uninteresting antagonist. So it was difficult for me to get into the plot, which I think makes the non-Marx Brother moments in the film suffer. And that's about it for the Animal Crackers, but what we like to do on the show is give it a rating, a scale between 1 and 4. 1 being the worst and 4 being the best.
I give it a 3.
You know,
out of 4.
3 out of 4. I think I'll give it a 3 out of 4 too, because the Marx Brothers are hilarious in this, as they always are. But some of the other elements of the movie weren't really working for me. So that's for this episode of the Marx Brothers retrospective. And join me and Matt again when we review Horse Feathers. Wait. Hello. I must be going. I came to say I cannot stay. I must be going. I'm glad I came, but just the same, I must be going. Tra-la.
Later. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3.
That's it. 1, 2, 3.